Hey, everybody out there on YouTube and on the worldwide interwebs. If you don't already know me, my name is Joe. Uh, my channel doesn't really have a direction. It's not really geared toward anything in specific. Just a bunch of random crazy videos that I'm surprised anybody even wants to watch. But, uh, anyways, I missed my video last week, and I've been meaning to come out and do an update on a recent video that I did about my Indian chieftain, and I I got a lot of flack for that video. I got a lot of comments, uh, not so nice comments. Some of them were so bad I actually deleted them. But um, I've had some issues with my Indian chieftain, and my last video may have been an overreaction. I'm not buying a Harley Davidson. I'm not trading it in. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling my Indian. I've had some issues with it, and I think rightfully so that I was upset about them. But uh, I wish I didn't delete some of the comments. There was one comment uh, that told me I should move overseas to a communist country because I was trashing Indian motorcycles, a great American brand. Really? Come on, guys. It's a motorcycle. It's American. I understand that. That's part of the reason I bought it. But when you buy American and you pay top dollar for something, you expect a premium machine, right? So when you have some of the issues I have, I feel like I was justified in uh, being upset about it. But like I said, I may have overreacted a little. I said I was going to push it off a cliff, and I was gonna go trade it for a Harley Davidson. Um, in the grand scheme of things, the bike is still a good bike. Mechanically, it's a really, really good bike, and it's super comfortable and it runs great. Uh, I actually even on uh, took it on a ride up to Vermont, 350 miles round trip this weekend to visit my daughter, and we had some lunch and took a ride, and it was a good time. But anyway, it's just the issues I had were cosmetic, and I wanna fill you in because Indian has made good on repairing most of the stuff that I had problems with. So I'm gonna take you over to the bike. I'll recap what the issues were, and and I'll tell you how they've been resolved or what Indian did for me. So let's take a walk over to the bike and we'll recap it. Okay, so here it is. This is the Indian Chieftain. The main reason I bought the bike was this color. I fell in love with it. This is an icon color. It's called Blue Slate Metallic. It was only available in 2022 only. And, when I bought it, I loved the bike when I bought it. And I was just so excited. I waited 6 or 7 months to get it. I had to special order it. And when it arrived, I didn't notice it immediately, but when it arrived, I noticed it a couple weeks later. There was down here on the fender, there was some minor drips in the paint, and I I was just so excited to get the bike after waiting for it for so long that I just overlooked it. I said, you know what, screw it. It's very minor, and you can barely notice it, and I just kind of let it go, and I didn't do anything about it. Um, Probably should have did it right away, but I didn't. So uh, that eventually turned into a problem. But the first issue I had with Indian is I upgraded. Let me see. You can't do it from that angle, but if you look down here, you'll notice I got the Indian slip-on exhaust, and I really like these pipes. I like the way they look. I love the way they sound because they've got a deep rumble to them, but they're not excessively loud. Like my last bike was super loud, and I like to do long rides, and when a bike is really loud, that can wear you down on a long ride. So I like that these have a good sound, but they're not overly loud. And so the first thing I noticed with this though is a couple months into it, I noticed only on the left pipe. If you look really close, you'll see all the dimpling and the bubbling on the exhaust tip. You see all that bubbling? Uh, it didn't happen on the right side for some reason. And Indian did uh, they did stand by it. Unfortunately, they're not making that exhaust anymore, and so Indian could not replace it. And so, oh, there's a motorcycle coming out of the cemetery across the street over there. Sorry, got a little distracted. Indian could not replace that exhaust because it's discontinued. So what they did for me is they gave me a $350 credit, and they said, that should be enough. If I want to fix it, that should be enough money for me to pop off those tips and have them re-powder coated or ceramic coated. I did check with a powder coater, and he said that he could recoat both sides, both exhaust tips for about $90. So, I thought that was fair, $350. I didn't bother to fix it. I may still do that at some point. What I did with that $350 instead was I ended up putting that money toward the adaptive headlight, Pathfinder headlight, which is fabulous. I love that headlight. It's, in my opinion, grossly overpriced at like $650, but it is what it is. So I wouldn't have paid $650 for it otherwise, but having that credit kind of pushed me into that. So um, another problem I had, and I know I've gone over this in another video, but again, the dripping down on the paint, that was the issue that really ticked me off. And I was still under warranty, and I brought it into my dealer. And Indian didn't make any qualms about it. My dealer sent the photo over because the dripping the it started to bubble, and then the paint started to peel, and so I started having issues with it. But they took some pictures, and they sent it off to Indian, and Indian just replaced the whole fender, and that was great. But during that replacement, uh, they would have had to have removed the side cover because they had to obviously take the seat off, take the bags off. They had to take everything off and replace the fender. And I didn't notice it until, I don't know, 2 months later, when I was giving the bike a good wash and detail, and I went to pop this side cover off. Uh, the dealer, and they're the only ones that could have done it, but the little nubs on the back side of that side cover, I don't want to pop it off because it's probably going to break again. But those little nubs that kind of go into the grommet, they broke two of the three nubs, and then they glued them back on and then reattached the cover. And I didn't notice it for like 2 months. It wasn't until the next time I tried to remove the cover. When I removed the cover, the grommets broke again, and they had just glue globbed all over it. And toward the end of this video, I'll throw some photos in of it. But I did go back to my dealer and pointed out to them, and I showed it to them, and they talked to the tech that replaced the fender, and of course he denied it. So they refused to do anything about it, my dealer. They said the best they could do was offer me maybe 20% off a new cover, but that cover's $500. So, we're only, I'd still have to pay close to $400 for it. Um, I did call Indian Motorcycles. I first I tried to repair it myself. I got some JB Weld, and I reattached them, and I thought it was going to hold. But a couple days ago, I removed the cover again just to see how it was holding. And as soon as I removed the cover, the nubs broke off again. So I called Indian back. I had initially opened up a claim with them, and then I told them that I thought I had fixed it, and they said, all right, well, if it continues to be a problem, just call them back. And so I did do that on Friday of last week, and I'm hoping that they're just going to send me a new cover. But for now, I had to get the JB Weld back out and reattach them. So that was the other issue, and that's more of an issue with my dealer because I know that they broke that, and they didn't tell me. The next issue I had, and again, it was with paint, and I'm just going to turn the bar for a minute. Right around the same time I noticed that cover, I also noticed, and I didn't notice it in the beginning, but I also noticed that the issue I had in the back fender also was happening on the front fender. There was some drips in the paint, and the drips started turning into like bubbling, and then the paint started peeling off, and it started getting corrosion. I was about a month out of warranty when I noticed that. And I called Indian, Indian said, you know, under the circumstances, we're going to ship you a new fender, but you have to, it has to be replaced by your dealer. So they wouldn't ship the fender directly to me. They would only ship it to the dealer, and the dealer had to put it on. And I had to pay the labor. So my dealer charged me an hour labor to pop that fender on. I can't believe it because it's only 2 bolts. You would have thought a half hour, but they charged me a full hour, so it cost me like $140 to replace the fender. But still, I think Indian did right by me by replacing it. So, anyways, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I had a problem with. So I had the exhaust tip, the 2 fenders, and the side cover. No, that's it. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, and we're gonna recap this, and we're gonna close it out. But uh, talk in a second. Okay, so like I said, my last video, uh, where I said I was gonna get rid of this thing and go get a Harley, I was I was just overreacting. I was upset in the moment. I was mostly upset about this side cover being broken and my dealer denying it when they were the only ones that worked on the bike. They had to have been the ones that broke it, right? So, uh, I do still love the bike. I guess I'm in sort of a love-hate relationship with this thing because I love the machine. I love the comfort. And, I love everything about the bike, but it's kind of disappointing to have paint issues, when this is an icon paint scheme, and it was a special order. This should have been, this paint should have been absolutely flawless for the cost of this bike. In 2022, this bike was $29,000 and some change. So, after taxes and dock fees and setup and all that, we're talking more than $30,000 for a motorcycle. You shouldn't have flaws like that. So, Indian, if you're listening and you see this, I love the brand and I love what you're doing, but your quality control needs to be a little better. You guys, whoever does the quality control on these things, they need to pay attention a little. And I do have a theory on this because this was in 2022. This was right in the height of COVID, when everything was like we were having all the COVID shortages, supply chain issues, and part issues, and there was lumber issues. We were building a house at the time too, and there were issues with lumber and skyrocketing prices. And so my theory is that because I bought this bike during that time, in inventory, there was like no inventory on the showroom floors at the time. People were waiting 5, 6, 8, 10. Some people were even waiting 12 months to get a bike that they ordered. And so my theory is that, maybe good help was hard to find during that time, and maybe some things slipped by. Or maybe I just got that guy on Monday morning who needed a second cup of coffee and painted a couple fenders and it didn't go so well. I don't know. But bottom line, I'm not trading it in for a Harley. I know. I don't even like Harleys. Uh, has not. I know. I got a lot of. I got a lot of comments about people saying, "Oh, you're gonna go woke. You're gonna go trade it in for a Harley. Harley's gone woke." I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't buy into the woke BS. All right. Uh, I don't care what other people do with their lives. Love who you want to love. If you got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend. I don't. That shit doesn't bother me. Woke is a made up word for people who have nothing better to do with their time than to worry about what other people are doing with their time. So, and that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to stay away from politics, but I don't buy into the woke BS. So, but I'm not buying a Harley because I just have never been a Harley fan. I do love this Indian, and I do plan to keep it. It's paid off, so I might as well keep it, right? It does run good. I love riding it. I enjoy riding it. But anyways, that's the update. Uh, Oh, before I even close this video out, there was one comment that I'm going to make. I'm going to clarify this now. I had one guy that accused me of being a coke addict, snorting too much cocaine. Right? I don't know if you guys have noticed that I sniff a lot in my videos, and I do this. I have ear problems. I've had tubes in my ears and I have like perforations in my eardrums. My right ear had been reconstructed and my ears pop a lot, like when you're on an airplane. And so when that happens, I have to kind of unpop them, and that's how you do it. If you've ever been on an airplane and your ears popped, uh, it happens to me probably once every 60 seconds. So it's a constant thing for me. So to the guy that said I was doing coke, snorting too much coke, I don't do coke, man. It's a medical thing. So uh, just to clarify that. But I'm not buying a Harley. I'm not getting rid of my Indian. I love it. I'm hoping that Indian sends me a new side cover. Um, if that happens, I'll update you guys. I'll drop a comment in the uh, down below with a link to my last video because it was I was pretty PO'd and I was pretty brutal in that video. But anyways, so that's it. That's the Indian. That's the update. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe that 2,000, almost 2,000 people watch my videos. It's mind-boggling to me. I think when I hit 2,000, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do like an Amazon gift card giveaway just as a thank you. So keep an eye out for that. And until the next video, y'all have a good day. It's almost 80 degrees in October right now. I think I might actually jump on the bike and take it for a ride. Thanks for watching.